Earlier on today's show, we had some fun with a girl who was on a diet but didn't really need to be. But if taken too far, this is no joke. It's a very serious problem. On today's Hall of Fame, we're dealing with an issue that affects over 8 million of us in the United States alone.
We would like to introduce to you a group of people who have suffered from the eating disorders of anorexia or bulimia.
Please welcome April Zager, Connie Noyce, Leanne Pardo, and Preston Paffra. All right, April, could you first tell us what exactly is an eating disorder and how does it happen?
An eating disorder is an obsession with food, which can involve either overeating or undereating.
So being overweight can be the result of an eating disorder, too.
Right, but food usually isn't the issue. The real issue usually is bad coping skills with your problems and also your lack of confidence in yourself.
Right.
All right, Preston, what was your situation like? Was it different or similar?
It was kind of the same, but I held most of my feelings inside, and I was always afraid of my parents getting separated because most of my friends' parents got separated, and I didn't think highly of myself. I thought I was bad, and I just held it all inside.
What about you, Leanne?
I got it mainly from stress, from my teachers and classmates at school, always thinking that I was going to get A's and stuff, and I had to work hard for that. And then I just thought I didn't have time for eating, so I just always worked, and I didn't do anything.
You both have talked about anorexia. What about bulimia, Connie? What's the difference between them?
Well, the difference is bulimia is considered like binging and purging, eating a lot or enough, and then getting rid of it in some way, like vomiting or exercise or something. And the difference is just that one of the things is it just doesn't show. It can be really dangerous because a person may look just wonderful, like an ideal weight, and they could be in a lot of danger.
It's weird. I would think that my friends would notice that something was going on. How did you guys keep it a secret from your friends and your family?
And with me, a lot of my friends at first didn't realize it, and then they would ask me what was wrong, but, of course I would say, oh, nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong. And they, of course, most people don't understand eating disorders.
What about you, Connie?
Well, I wear a lot of baggy clothes. I was just really into baggy clothes. And my parents didn't notice because they saw me every day, and a lot of times when you see somebody every day, you don't notice a change, and I was pretty conniving and good at hiding things.
So once your parents found out, which I'm assuming they did, what did they say? I mean, how did they deal with it?
They were really shocked, but they were fairly supportive. I thought they'd hate me and think I was a terrible person, really disgusting, because I thought I was really disgusting, but, they were actually, all they wanted to do was to help me. And tell me
really
to get better.
The best way is to tell someone and get help.
Yeah, talking about it seems to be the most important thing.
Usually people, they deny it at first. I know I did. I denied it, and finally my mother told me, April, you have a problem. And I'm like, no, I don't. I knew I did, but I didn't want to believe it. And my mother was the one who pretty much forced me to get help at first.
What about Leanne and Preston? When did you finally say, I need help?
Well, my parents they were being suspicious from the beginning about me losing weight gradually. So they just finally started taking me to all these doctors till they found a good one. And I started a therapist, and that's when they started telling me about anorexia and all that. And then I clicked in my head and said, hey, I have to help myself.
I denied it, like April, and I knew I had it, but I didn't want to tell anybody because I was ashamed. And my parents finally told me that you're going to have to go to the doctor, so I went to my pediatrician, and he put me for a week in Good Samaritan, and I got all kind of tests and stuff, and he said that I'm going to have to go to a psychiatric hospital, and I got help there.
Well, Leanne, what is the best advice you could give to kids at home and kids in our audience who maybe have eating disorders or, tell us about what you've learned, what's the best advice you could give?
Never keep it to yourself. Always tell somebody, because that also causes a lot of problems. You get depressed very easily. So always have a friend to talk to, even your parents or counselor or anything.
It's nothing to be ashamed of, I'm not proud of it, but I'm not, I don't go around saying, hey, I've got an eating disorder, but I'm not ashamed of it. It's the way I dealt with my problems, and you know, it was almost a way I could protect myself when my feelings were too strong. And now I have a more healthy way of dealing with my feelings.
All right, well, why don't we get some questions from our audience?
Okay.
All right. All right, what's your question?
What are some of the signs to recognize when people know they need to get help?
With anorexia, extreme loss of weight, constantly counting calories, exercising, letting food control your life more than anything else.
Were any of you, like, upset or angry, like, with something or someone to do something like this?
Yeah, I was pretty much angry with the world. I had a lot of anger toward my parents and toward just a lot of things. And in fact, bulimia with me was a way, I think, of trying to get rid of those feelings. Just trying to, you know, like throw them up or something, you know, just trying to get rid of those feelings. And everybody has feelings like that, and they're very strong.
Why can some people develop eating disorders while others don't?
Everyone can develop, you know, ways of coping with their problems in different ways. You know, mine personally just happened to be an eating disorder because I never was really happy with the way I looked. Other people can develop, you know, they can be very depressed, or they can, you know, use drugs, or, you know, it comes out differently in everyone.
How are you guys dealing with your problems now?
I personally struggle with it every day. You know, some days are better than others. I have to learn to, like, you know, deal with my problems in other ways besides hurting myself.
I go to a therapist, which really helps a lot because you can talk to them and tell them anything. And also now I have a better relationship with my parents, and I talk to them more. So that helps deal with my problems, too.
All right, buddy, what's your question?
If I thought one of my friends had a problem, what should I do?
Go talk to him and see if he'll talk to you. Be very patient with him. And try to tell him what you know about it and say go get help because you could die.
What finally made you realize that you needed to ask for help?
From people telling me that I was so skinny, I got sick and tired of them saying. And I was like, oh, shut up, okay? And then I just, you know, I just didn't say anything to my parents. I just let them sort of deal with it.
Me, I had a real close brush with actually my health being endangered. I didn't know it, but my stomach was totally torn up, you know. And I was out running one day, and I, you know, just collapsed on the track. And, you know, a friend of mine just, you know, knew the stuff and said, "You're dying, so get help."
Well, you have all taught us so much for this, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate you talking about something so private but so important. For your honesty and courage, and for helping other kids, we'd like to welcome you into our Mickey Mouse Club Hall of Fame.